Hello and welcome. My name is Sage, and today in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with becoming a stay-at-home mom at 21 years old. I know that for a lot of people it can feel like an unattainable goal to be able to stay at home with your babies, and so I just wanted to share some of the things that we do as a family to make it an option for us. So for a little bit of backstory, my husband and I got married when we were 19 years old. We ended up getting pregnant with our daughter about 8 months later, and then she was born around a month after my 21st birthday. Prior to me getting pregnant, we had actually been living on a single income for a little while because I had quit my job in order to pursue being a doula full-time. That's a whole long story for another day. It ended up not working out for a variety of reasons, and a big one of those was us losing our apartment and having to move 3 hours away from where we had been living. When we first got married, we were renting a very small little apartment that was actually like a converted shed in someone's yard. It was really cool and very affordable, but it didn't last very long, so we ended up purchasing our very first house a while sooner before we thought we would. And that brings me to my first tip, which is making sure to find affordable housing. That can feel like a really big ask, especially in today's housing market, but I think the biggest thing to remember is that it may not be your dream place. You might not be living close to family. There's a good chance that you might feel like you don't live in like a super cool area, but there are affordable options out there. You just have to go looking for them and be willing to accept something that maybe isn't your first choice, or your second, or your third. My second tip is potentially a little bit controversial, but look up your state's guidelines and check to see whatever benefits you can apply for. We qualify for WIC, and it has been like a lifesaver when it comes to reducing our grocery bill. For some reason there seems to be a lot of stigma around that type of thing, but I think that a helpful way of framing it is to remember that you're actually paying a lot of money into taxes, and you deserve to be using the programs that you qualify for. You're literally paying for them. There's also a misconception that if you're using these programs and you don't like really need them, as in you're not like actually starving to death, that you're taking those resources away from people who need them, which is actually completely opposite of the truth. In reality, the more people that are signing up for these programs, the more of our tax dollars are allotted to them. I don't know about you, but personally, I'm a lot happier to see our tax dollars used to feed the next generation than I am to see them being sent to other countries to bomb literal children. Another thing to keep in mind is the money that you can save by staying home versus sending your kids to daycare. For example, a lot of daycares won't accept children who use cloth diapers, and so by me staying home to take care of our kids, we're able to cloth diaper them, which ends up saving us hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Also, it's much easier for moms who stay home to exclusively breastfeed than it is if you are going to work and needing to pump for your baby. That can also save you potentially hundreds or thousands of dollars in formula costs. Unfortunately, we did not plan out our pregnancies very well, and so I ended up losing my milk supply when my daughter was about 8 months old. Obviously, she still needed to be fed at that point, so we fed her with a combination of my frozen breast milk, donor milk, and formula. So if you're planning on relying on breastfeeding as like a money-saving tactic, maybe don't get pregnant at 5 months postpartum. That's just an idea. Another thing that can save you a lot of money is thrifting instead of buying things brand new. Both my wardrobe and my kids' wardrobes are almost 100% thrifted, which has saved us a ton of money. And you're still able to buy really nice clothing that way. Oftentimes they're just at a really reduced price. Another thing that has saved us a bunch of money is only purchasing gender-neutral clothing, at least for the first year or so of your baby's life, especially if you're planning on having more than one child. We've decided to wait until birth to find out the gender of both of our babies, and I feel like that really helps to avoid those like impulse purchases of cute girly items or cute little boy outfits, which, let's be real, those things will probably only be worn once or twice anyways, and I feel like there's much better places to put our money. On the topic of buying things secondhand, places like Facebook Marketplace and your local Buy Nothing group are a really great option for finding lots of gently used baby gear. And the other thing to remember is that babies really don't require a lot of equipment. It's really important to remember that the baby industry spends tons and tons and tons of money on marketing to make you believe that you need all of the flashiest new equipment and gear, and that's just not true. Most baby items are a luxury and not a necessity. Besides having like a car seat, a safe place for your baby to sleep, a way to catch their pee and poop, whether that's disposable diapers, cloth diapers, or elimination communication, and a way to keep them dressed and warm, you really don't need much more than that. At least if you're exclusively nursing. If you are exclusively pumping or formula feeding, obviously you will need some feeding gear to go along with that. And besides just like the saving money aspect of it, I've found that keeping our baby gear collection super minimal has made me feel less stressed just because there's less stuff sitting around our house. The more that I'm learning about decluttering and minimalism, the less I want to buy things. Because it's amazing just how much of an impact clutter and excess stuff can have on your mental health. And then my final tip is to cook almost everything at home. I cook most of our meals, except for my husband's lunches, here at home from scratch. We very rarely go out to eat, we very rarely get takeout or anything like that. And when I do, I like to try to use either coupons or order through that restaurant's app in order to get really good deals on things. But really learning your way around the grocery store and around your kitchen is a great way to save money so that you will be able to spend more time with the people that you love. I really hope that those tips were helpful for you. It would mean so much to me if you would subscribe and stick around to hear more about being a stay-at-home mom and saving money and all those kinds of fun things. Till next time, bye!